Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Cafecito Chats. And today's edition is Gifts with Love. We're so excited. We have Mia Sims here with us today, the founder of Austintacious. And we are going to be speaking with her, and she's going to be sharing her story and journey with us. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and bring my colleague Liliana to the screen.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Dr. Cortez.
Hi, Liliana. How are you today?
I am doing well for this Wednesday. I have to admit to everyone today, I've been thinking all this today that today was Thursday for some reason. But I'm happy that it's Wednesday. So happy hump day to everyone out there.
Yes, and this is our seventh show. Can you believe that?
I know we were trying to figure out what number it was, and I'm very excited for this episode and broadcast that we have planned. But I'm stoked about being our 7-1, so it's like lucky 7, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Hype it up.
Yes. One of the things that's been crazy for me, and I think our team, is that, we wanted to highlight small businesses and we wanted to highlight people doing amazing work in the community. And I have felt like it's just been a blessing, the number of people that we've been able to bring on our show telling me how we have so many wonderful small businesses, people who are our colleagues who've gone off and done their own thing, and which is why I'm really excited about today and Mia's story. I've had a chance to know her for some time now. I was actually looking at how long she's been in Austin, and we've almost been in Austin about the same time, but I've known her in my professional career all these different ways. So isn't it crazy how people who you've crossed your paths with in your life, they come to fruition to get to meet again?
I totally agree on that. I think when I was getting to know Mia, and we had brought her in to ask her if she would like to be a part of it, just her inspiration and her journey, that I am so excited that everybody gets to hear that, and actually pumped me up, I felt, for the week. And so I'm excited for that. I also love when our speakers come in, and I've told you this privately, when I'm like, they come in and then they even share a story about you, Dr. Cortez, that I didn't even know about. But I'm super excited to have Miss Mia Sims with us as well, just like you. Super excited.
All righty. Well, for everybody that is tuning in, we're excited to bring to you Mia Sims. She's the founder of Austintacious. She also does wonderful things across Austin. She has even her own event companies. So I looked at it. She has 2 companies, but she's also extremely active in the Austin community. A lot of people know her for just her amazing skill set and all she does. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her to the screen. Hi, Mia.
Oh my God, I've just never been introduced like that. Like I'm at the Academy Awards.
Well, we think you're Academy Award worthy, Mia, for all the work that you're doing. And we're just so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. I am delighted to be here.
And as Liliana said, you and I have known each other for some time. And it's been amazing to see our lives kind of cross in these different paths in our carear.
Yes, we met when we were 10, so we're only 30 something.
Yeah.
But yes, it's amazing to see. You've always been an amazing person. I'm going to shed the spotlight to you. And so I always knew, I was just like, I'm going to keep my eye on her because she's going to do something amazing and great. And sure enough, our days at St. Ed's, then Leadership Austin,
yes.
and business. So it's been wonderful that we've been able to stay connected over the years.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mia, for saying those kind words. And I know we're having this show and people are tuning in to find out a little bit about you. And we usually start our segment. We want to know about you and who you are personally. Share a little bit about your career journey with us. We'd love to hear more.
Oh, wow. Well, I've been in Austin for over 20 years. I'm a transplant, as many people are. What do they say? I wasn't born here, but I got here as fast as I could.
Yeah,
that's what they say. So, originally from New York. I'm originally from upstate New York, Rochester, Buffalo area.
wow.
But we moved around a lot. I had never lived anywhere more than 4 years in my life. So this is the longest I've ever lived in one place.
Wow.
But I moved here from Portland, Oregon. I was actually working for the Urban League in Portland, and my boss was promoted to the CEO for Austin and asked me if I wanted to come with him. So that's how I got to Austin. And I had a 2-year-old daughter at the time. And I just said, okay. My parents were always like, you've always been adventurous, go. And so that's how I ended up getting here. And I started working and fell into events. That wasn't my plan to be an event planner, but fell into it and loved it, and then wanted to do it more and more and more and more and more. And then at some point when my daughter went to college, she was almost done. And I said I was going to do business on my own. And that's when I did my event planning and then also my gift wrapping. So I'm the oldest of 5 and the only girl. So I was the designated wrapper in my family. So I've always loved gift wrapping. And so I did gift wrapping and the event planning. And every so often I was asked to do a bag or a gift that was Austin centered. So over the years with my event planning and other things, I've been able to really get a good network of local Austin folks. And so I've created them a couple of times and people were like, you should do that more. And came up with the name Austintacious because it's all about Austin and Central Texas. Mm-hmm. And then during COVID, I launched it. So even though COVID was a crazy time, it was something that I had always thought about doing. And so we launched it. Mother's Day was our first box. And that's really how we started.
And Mia, when you were visiting with us, and we always get a time for those listening in to speak with our guests before they come on the show, and what we were really inspired with, and I wonder if you want to share that sometimes when you're on this path or a journey, you're kind of doing something. You might be focused on a particular type of work, and then you just felt like you had this calling or this voice telling you that there might be something else that you need to be doing. I wonder if you want to share with our guests a little bit about that, what you shared.
Yeah, it's, again, my plan was actually to be, I say that loosely, was to be a music teacher. That was my original goal. And so, and I still love music, but midway through school, the first year I went to school, I had a little too much fun. I was like, oh, I don't have to go to class today? Okay, I won't go. There's consequences to your choices. And then the second time I went, I kind of fluttered. And so, but I've always worked and always been good administratively. And so I started doing events as part of my admin job. And as I did them more, I loved it. I didn't realize it. I didn't know there was like a whole career for it or anything. I just loved it. And the self-competitive part of myself would want to do the event bigger and better than the last time I did it. So I want it bigger. I want it better. I want it to raise more money. I want to get exposure. And then I just kept having a draw to it. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to do this every day. It allows me to be creative, and I still love what I do. And Austintacious is another arm of that. And so, again, people, when I was doing it, people were like, will you wrap my gifts? Okay. Then people were like, you should, people would pay you to wrap their gifts. And I was like, no, get out of here. And I loved what I did through all of this, even though it was hard, and even though it was difficult, I never lost my love for it. And I kept saying, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I kept feeling, go this way, go this way. And even if, and I didn't understand it. And for some, I had never seen the model before. So I was looking for other people to kind of emulate and get feedback from. And so, how you steal mentors? It's like, oh, you don't know, but you're a mentor to me. So I was feeling mentors and looking at things and ebbing and flowing and changing and growing as it went along.
Well, that is amazing. And it sounds like you had an inspiration that grew out of something that you had a love and a passion for, which I think I tell people that you got to love what you do. I think you have to love what you do. It's not this great idea that you're chasing, but more so something that you love to do, because you got to get up every day and do it again, right?
Yes. And when I first started my event company, I was afraid to do it because I didn't think I was going to be able to live. I was like, I'm not going to make enough money. That's not wise. And someone once told me, do what you love and the money will come. And I began to value myself. Let me say that again. Value myself, value what I bring to the table. And when you add value, people don't mind investing in that, because really businesses are problem solvers. I solve people's problems. So people will pay for that. And if you do it well, they'll pay you well. So, you know your value and know that it's okay. And whatever it is, you really can. And especially in this time and age, you can do really whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, so thank you, Mia, so much for sharing that. I think it speaks volumes of who you are as a person, but also just your inspiration and being able to put your passion into, your vision or what you're creating. I would love to know a little bit more about, if you can tell us a little bit more of Austintacious. How is it unique and special to you? Anything that you would love to share with our viewers, we would love to hear that.
The slogan for Austintacious is filled with the goodness of Austin. And so I love packaging. To me, there's nothing like getting a great package. When you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then also giving a package. It's like you took time and thought to give something really meaningful. What makes us, I think, special is that we feature only Austin and Central Texas vendors. So when you get something from Austintacious, you are supporting all of these wonderful local businesses, which, especially during this time, has been really hard for them. And so it's been wonderful because when you order something, I link the businesses in there. So people can go to their site. And what I'm hoping is that once they get the box, they then go back and order something from these businesses individually.
Awesome.
So I love it. I sent one package to someone who actually used to live here. Her mother sent it. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I felt like I got a piece of home.
Oh.
When I got it. So, it just has little things that if you're from Austin, mean something to you. So it's wonderful. And the businesses have just been wonderful to collaborate with, and so gracious and thankful. And so we're going to be, and everything is also shippable. So it's something that you can send. And so it's great. So there's themes, and I'm always coming up with new themes. We just did our fall. We have a sweater weather box that just went online today. That's all about fall. It's a mug that says sweater weather, who's made by the woman who has these cute 2 little boys, and everything is all local. So I love meeting all these wonderful vendors.
That is amazing. And we have a slide we definitely want to show of some of your boxes. Just wonder what's your most popular one. I know we have some in display here.
The most popular one now is not up there. I did a COVID pamper kit. And it actually has this candle that says, "This too shall pass." As part of the box. And, I get inspiration from different things. I look at different holidays. The one on the top is welcome to ATX. So a lot of realtors will use that, or if they have friends moving to Texas, this is like welcome to Texas. We have a t-shirt subscription. So I'm big about t-shirts. Everybody's wearing t-shirts now. So we got a t-shirt of the month subscription club. That's a different Austin t-shirt every month. There's teas. The Keep Austin Weird is always fun and always great. Candles. So many different unique ones that are fun.
Well, you know, I think we shared something about behind every business there's a story, and I think we got that quote actually from you, and we displayed it and we talked about it, and I think there is a story, and there's one thing that you shared with us is that you have your why. What's your why? And I'd love for you to share with your audience, like, what's the story behind the business and what's your purpose of your why?
Yeah. And you know, again, I was the oldest in my family and it just brought so much joy and I loved that. But you know, my why is my daughter and my grandson, you know, my family. I became a Mimi over 3 years ago. And I used to talk about people who were grandmas. I was like, oh, they're just so extra and over the top. Talk about the grandkids. I love him so dang much. Oh my God. I love him. My daughter just texted me. She said he's at school saying, we got to go to Mimi's house later. I was like, bring him. They inspire me. They keep me going. You know, I'm from a family of 5. My dad was an entrepreneur. He was a barbecue business. And so I think I got a little bit of the bug from him. But that's my reason. And then my other reason is my faith. You know, I have my family and then I have my faith because I think, you know, we all do God's work in different ways. And so this is one way that I'm able to do that. So, because I never would have just launched into this, but they keep me going. They keep me inspired. And I absolutely am nuts about them.
And family's good for helping out, huh? I know mine.
Yeah. My daughter would stop coming to things. She was like, what do you have going on right now? I was like, this, and this. I said, are you coming over? She's like, no, because you're
no.
You want all the benefits and not do any work, Laura.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Another question that I would love to ask is just if you could share with us, what does the future hold for Austintacious? What do you see it coming? I know you talked briefly about shipping and doing more things that I think it would, from, you know, just capturing everything. You started from an idea, you put it into work, and now it's like reaching the stars, right? So what does the future hold for Austintacious?
You know, I ask myself that question too. I'm like, because I'm always thinking of new boxes. I'm always thinking of new ideas. You know, we're going to have some coming up for the holidays. So I see our reach getting bigger. I see us at some point being able to ship internationally. Right now, we're just shipping in the U.S., but I definitely see it shipping internationally. You know, people have told me, you know, you could open this in other cities, but it's Austintacious. So I would have to do that in each different one. But I absolutely, like, my house is starting to get crazy everywhere. So I actually see kind of getting a building at some point or space and going out from there. And I would love to, you know, customization is a huge piece of my business. So there's companies that will customize a box. So I can customize anything. And that is really becoming special. Some of those occasions that I get to do that for nonprofits or even just for people that want something special. Someone actually sent one of my boxes for someone that had passed away. And we actually did some customization to it to make it a little more special and meaningful. So I would just love to continue to grow it, love to give back. You know, there's causes. You know, I want to make a lot of money. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah, no.
But I have to say, being in nonprofit work, I know that there are some things that it's nice when you can write a check. While there's some things that you can do, I would love to be able to give scholarships. I would love to do business into seed money into different businesses. So also figuring out what that looks like for Austintacious.
And that's so amazing. That's so amazing too, because I was thinking, now we're having to do everything from home. So how nice that, we could send a box to someone or our employees or for an event. And so all of you out there listening, you want a great box or just a theme of thinking about it. I think of myself and how cool it is when I think that's now our big thing, right? Everybody's getting things through the mail. So the doorbell rings and you're like, what's out there?
I had a girlfriend of mine say their family, they actually each signed up for some type of subscription box. And that will be also the next thing we do, subscription. But because during this time, they needed something to look forward to. And so just getting something in the mail. So they each signed up for whatever subscription box thing that they wanted. And so keeping our joy up during this time is, there's different ways to do that. And I never thought about that. She has like a 12-year-old, 8-year-old, and her husband, and they each get their own different little thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ideas. What kind of box do I get?
So yes, and everything, everything starts with an idea. I was telling you all when we were talking earlier, I love Kendra Scott, love lots of, but that started with an idea. I remember a friend who knew her. She says, Mia, we were sketching earrings and jewelry on the bed. Like these things all started with an idea. And then you pray, you get some luck, and you do. I think when you do your work, it's met. So a lot of times I didn't know what I was doing, and even I said when I launched it, it wasn't the perfect thing that I wanted. If I was like, no, we should do this, and my friend was like, Mia, done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
Press send, and I'm glad I did it, because there's things that you can fix along the way, but despise not the day of small beginnings.
Yes. And now that you're saying that, I think, one of the things that we, I guess that's a lesson of something you've learned about yourself in this journey. But one of the things that we do with this show is, when we would sit around the table, oftentimes we get consejitos to each other. It came from my mom. She would give us advice, and I always share this. She'd give us a little set of some piece of wisdom of nuggets of having gone through experiences herself. And so we love to always ask our special guests, what's your consejito? What's your special piece of knowledge that you would like to share with our audience that you've learned?
Oh, I've learned a lot. I probably need to write a book. But lately what's been in my mind is fail forward. Failing is not a bad thing. There's so many things that I learned because I failed at doing it. I didn't do it the right way, or not even the right way. I didn't do it a way that was working for me. And you immediately get in this defeat mode, like this didn't work. And then when I look at a lot of great people, they failed so many times, but somebody, and I don't know who said it, but they said fail forward. So just know that every time something doesn't work out, it's teaching you something. And as I adjust to that, it makes me better. I learn from it. And so don't run away from, because failure will also give you fear, and then you won't try. So, fail forward and then do it scared. I was totally scared when I did Austintacious. I was going through huge transition in my personal life, and things were crazy, and it just did not seem the wisest time to do it, but something was like, do this now. And so I did it scared. So it's better to do it scared and do it versus not doing it.
That's amazing. That's great advice, Mia.
Thank you for sharing that, Mia. And I would love for anyone that's out there and you're interested in becoming a vendor, how can people get in contact with you in regards to that? Is there a link or anything that we can share for you to kind of, get that momentum going? We would love, to send traffic your way, any kind of way that we can help.
Thank you. So the website is austentatiousatx.com. And I am always looking for vendors. Like, even if I don't use you right now, sometimes I just added Fancy Fluff. She does flavored cotton candy.
Oh, nice.
So the fall box has apple cider cotton candy.
Woo.
And the holiday box is going to have eggnog cotton candy.
Nice.
Sometimes I will get an idea for a box because of a vendor that is doing something. So please, if you're a vendor, please, I have a link on there, but the email is info@austentatiousatx.com, and Austintacious ATX on Facebook and Instagram. So reach out that way. I always love to get new vendors and hear what they're doing, but just go and look. We've got our fall box. We'll have some really wonderful things coming up for the holidays. We're going to be shipping a lot of gifts this year.
Yes, they are. And they're going to get ready and come in with cool ideas. And I know we had a slideshow, and we're going to put your link on our Facebook comments. So for those of you that are tuning in, we are going to put Mia's way that you can get in touch with our website. We did have a slide with some of your information as well. So we want to make sure we get to put that up in your beautiful colors. We love the purple.
Coming up with the logo, it was just like, I want the logo to show Austin, and so it was like, no, not this bat, no, not this state of Texas. So, but it really represents Austin. So I love seeing it every time. I was like, oh, I love my
well, here's the ways that you could get connected with her. And what I love too is that, Mia, when I read this and when I see it, I think of Austin. I think of all the things that are visual. And I can see why people who are getting your boxes say it's a little bit of home to them, especially if they're far away. And people who are international. A lot of people work or students live international. They've been in Austin for some time. I could see that being amazing for them.
Yes, I am. I'm grateful. I am. I'm so totally grateful to do what I love and to bring joy with it and to impact my community.
Well, Mia, we have loved just hearing your story, and we are so glad that we had the opportunity to highlight your business. And in the same sense, I'm very proud of the work that you're doing, and for us to be able to continue. I think one of the biggest things that I'm noticing also, which I think you're doing with these boxes, is putting other people's work on display and doing it with a care and doing it with a love of saying, like, how can I give people other gifts too? So I hope your company continues to just expand. I can't wait to see what it looks like a year from now. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. You will be getting orders from us for boxes. Now that I have my mom and family in College Station, I'm going to be sending them boxes and things.
Thank you. And it is. I have a team, but I make all of them. I sign little cards in each of them. So they are, each of them are really made with love. And I send that with the box. So thank you for having me on, Laura. I'm so proud of you and all that you're doing. So Austin's a great city. There's so many wonderful things, wonderful people here where we live. So I'm glad to be part of the fabric.
Well, thank you, Mia. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Mia's. We are actually now going to share a little bit about how you want to get connected with Cafecito.
Dr. Cortez.
So we have to.
I'm so sorry. Let me tell you before we head out and exit. With my Wi-Fi, and I think it's happening right now. So feel free to tag along here, whatnot. But yes, Dr. Cortez, to kind of switch into our roles. if you do want to get connected, anyone out there and join us, please, we encourage you to sign up with us, and our back-end person will actually be adding our technical support. The link, if you're interested in joining Cafecito chats with us, please feel free to come on board. We're super excited about how the success of this is happening, but it's mainly because we're sharing other people's successes and their stories that really impact the community. So I think we're just a touch point where, anyone that jumps on board with us can just really share their stories and their services.
Thank you, Liliana. I know that it's been a common thing, so we're all getting used to the technology of things. So don't worry at all. And thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us. We do want to share that we will have another Cafecito in 2 weeks. Our next Cafecito is going to be featuring College Life 101. And it's going to be with Katie Oliveira and Joseph Miller, 2 other colleagues of mine who are super great. They're doing more work on really what does college mean. I think it's being redefined right now in the COVID era. For those that are tuning in that are students who follow us through Cortez Consulting and even do internships with us, we know you're now doing it from home. What does that look like? I think it's also redefining success for everyone in getting a bachelor's degree. And do we have to do that in a physical brick and mortar space? And what does this all look like? So I'm super excited to have Katie and Joseph on. We'll be hosting that show on October 28th, same time, same space. And of course, if you miss it, know that we're going to have this show on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't followed us, please do so. We do have this streaming live, but also on our YouTube channel. All right, well, everybody, we've enjoyed having Cafecito with you guys today. Mia, thanks again for joining us and being here. Super grateful to you. And wishing everybody a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.